Want to hear the most annoying sound in the world?
Dumb and Dumber is directed by Peter Farrelly in 1994, and Dumb and Dumber is a screwball comedy film filled with varieties of different types of comedy, such as dark humor, visual humor, and others. This film offers a MacGuffin story, being that it kind of is like revolved around chasing an object.
I don't know, Lloyd. The French are assholes.
And this film actually has some decent acting from the main characters and even some support characters. Without further ado, let's talk about why Dumb and Dumber is breathtaking. In terms of jokes, Dumb and Dumber offers many jokes that aren't just poop jokes, but they offer jokes that involve dark humor or some screwball classic jokes, like not knowing what one thing is or like interpreting something wrong. If you like screwball comedy, you'll probably like most of these jokes in this film. Some jokes in here are visual jokes, maybe like a truck exploding behind Lloyd because he was being distracted on the road telling a story, or maybe some manly love in the bathroom because Lloyd was there in the wrong place at the wrong time, about to get hooplawed by an old rival he met just in a few scenes previous to that scene. Or maybe it's a joke like Harry's dead parakeet, his head fell off, and Lloyd sold the dead parakeet to a blind kid to make some money for the road trip to Aspen. If you look closely too, that like you can see that the bird's head is taped the wrong way, and also that the parakeet gag reappears later inside the film in the form of a TV news report. Of course, there's plenty more jokes inside Dumb and Dumber, but like, these are just some that I can tell you like right off the top of my head that aren't major spoilers or anything. Now for the pacing for Dumb and Dumber is pretty good, I would say. It's really fast paced for a majority of the film. And then as the film like progresses during like the third act, it gets a little slower. I wouldn't say actually reached the destination, but like it still ends up being pretty fast during the whole road trip part, especially since it's filled with jokes in between. Pretty good set pieces, good moments, and all that. All that goes into to help the pace go faster. And like even for the beginning when they're inside the house, not house, the apartments, it's still pretty decently fast paced, trying to set up the plot and story for the second act.
Dogs were supposed to be here 40 minutes ago. I bathed them and I clipped them myself. And I stand by my performance.
Now we have dialogue. Dialogue inside Dumb and Dumber is okay. Like most of the jokes come out through dialogue, and that's all right. But then like the normal dialogue, like conversations, is a little unrealistic. Like some parts of the conversations, probably no one like you'll see ever have, or like some are probably some aren't too don't seem too real. But like it's a Dumb and Dumber movie, so it's not like it's gonna matter or anything. This is like don't come to a Dumb and Dumber movie expecting some smart conversations between people. Story wise or plot wise, Dumb and Dumber is really good. I mean, like for a comedy, and typically some comedies have really dumb plots, and like this one kind of has a dumb plot, but like it does make sense for the film, and it has a really good setup in my opinion. So, like from an earlier clip I showed, Lloyd steals a briefcase from these two, and like throughout the rest of the movie, they're trying to get that briefcase back, but they underestimate Lloyd and Harry's intellect, their IQ. Once Harry and Lloyd get the briefcase, they want to bring it back to Mary Swanson inside Aspen, but they have to take a road trip there because they have no money. Their pets' heads are falling off, and they have no jobs because they lost it. And then some events occur, some unfortunate, some really funny. Actually, most of them are really funny. And until they get to Aspen, it's when the third act starts. Pretty much like the plot flows really well with the setup of them on a road trip bringing a briefcase back to Mary. It flows pretty well with the pacing, and there's some good dialogue inside there. So story-wise, Dumb and Dumber checks out. It's pretty good. In conclusion, Dumb and Dumber is a pretty good comedy, goofball genre comedy film to watch with friends or even by yourself if you want to. Jokes in this film do land. It has some really good pacing and some good dialogue. A pretty good setup for the jokes, and which means it has a pretty good plot too.
So you're telling me there's a chance? Yeah!
Overall, I'd give Dumb and Dumber an A minus.
I like it a lot.
Probably because like a little bit of the dialogue was might be a little unrealistic, but it's alright. I could get by it. And that is why Dumb and Dumber is breathtaking.